Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the press conference Golden Gala Pietro Mennea meeting. First of all, I would like to thank Stefano May, President of Italian Athletic Federation, and Marco Sicari, Meeting Director. We begin with style, because 4 athletes and 4 gold medals in Paris. At my right side, Ryan Crouser. I suppose you don't need to specify the discipline. Tara Davis-Woodhall.
Hi.
Letsile Tebogo. And Nina Kennedy. 4 athletes, 4 gold medals. I start from down under. Nina. What Olympic Games for Australia? 59 medals, 7 in athletics, 6 of these 7 from female team. What's the secret of the women team in Australia?
Yeah, the girls dominated in Paris. I don't know, I just, in the swimming and the athletics, everyone basically was female. So I think in Australia, a lot of our men go to sports like rugby and cricket and AFL. So I think they're whipped away quite early, they're paid quite a lot, and the female athletes go more down that Olympic route. But yeah, we did awesome.
Letsile, you receive an unbelievable welcome in Rome, because you meet a special supporter, Pope Francis. Now you have a show with the signature of Pope. What's your feeling to meet such an important person?
It feels amazing to meet the Pope, because it's something that I've dreamed of as a child. But the dream came true, so I was truly honored to be there and get the signature.
Tara, you come from Paris with a gold medal, but now I suppose you have 2 things to do. The first one is do your best tomorrow evening in long jump. The second thing you have to do is suggest to your husband, that is a great Paralympic athlete, what's the best way to win the gold medal at the Paralympics?
Just going out there and having fun. I mean, he's worked hard this season to get to this point. He has a target on his back, and he's going to be the hunted this year.
Ryan, 3 gold medals at the Olympics, couple of World Championship, world record holder, so it means the greatest shot putter in history. In Los Angeles, you can go for the 4 gold medals in the same discipline. Only 2 athletes, Al Orter and Carl Lewis, do that. So you're fighting not for history, you're fighting for legend.
Yeah, that for me would be a dream come true. I mean, as an American athlete, to end my career and retire on American soil would be the ultimate dream. But yeah, I just focus on the day-to-day, competition to competition, and it's worked so well so far, so I'm going to try to keep that up.
Okay, now it's up to you for the question. Please wait for the microphone.
Crickets. Anyone? Raise a hand. Ask me my favorite color.
So the first question was very complete because no one.
Pink.
If there is no more question, I go for a second one. And Letsile, meeting record is 1970. Is a time you can do not I don't want to say easily, but it could be a target for tomorrow to be the new meeting record holder.
I think tomorrow is the 100, not the 200.
Okay. And what's your target for 100 tomorrow?
I can't put a target to tomorrow's time, because the Olympics have finished and we are still celebrating the gold medal, but I'll give it my best shot tomorrow.
But you didn't predict any time.
Yeah, I can't predict, but with Fred there, I think it's going to be a fast time.
Okay. And Tara, more than 7 meters?
Hey, I mean, you guys saw how that track went for the European Championships, so we'll see what happens. Hope so.
And Ryan, you meet again our guy, Leonardo Fabbri, the other great of the shot put, and what do you expect for tomorrow?
Yeah, I think it'll be a very good competition. Fabbri has spoken a lot about throwing in Rome. I know he's going to be the most excited athlete to compete tomorrow, I think, in the entire stadium. So I think he'll be difficult to beat. So I'm expecting a very good competition. I'm happy with how my training is going. Joe Kovacs is also shaking off jet lag, coming off of Silesia. So I think the three of us, and possibly Peyton Otterdahl as well, I think it's going to be an extremely good competition. So I'm hoping the crowd will at least cheer a little bit for me and not entirely for Fabbri. But it'll be great. Anytime we have a very strong local competitor in the event, it's great for the event. So I'm excited, and I'm happy for him that he gets to compete in front of the home crowd.
Nina, I would like to remember that in Rome we have in pole vault world record from Thierry Villaron, Sergei Buka, Armand Duplantis, but no record from a woman pole vaulter. It's very difficult, 5:05, but who knows?
Yeah, who knows? You know, I think after the Olympics, you know, you win gold, you achieve those dreams, and then this part of the season is just fun, right? The pressure is off and we enjoy competition, and I think that's really good for the pole vault. It loosens, like we loosen up and we have fun, and we'll see what, I do tomorrow.
Okay, question from Franco Bagdagna, Rai Television.
Thank you very much. Question for Letsile. I think your name is Letsile, the pronunciation is correct. Tebogo. I want to know something about, sorry for this, your mom. Your role in the practice of track and field, track without field, and so on. Something like this.
What was the question again?
Your mom and the role of your mom in the practice of sports.
My role?
How was your mom?
No.
Oh, okay.
Sorry for this. It could be a sad thing, but...
She's been with me throughout the journey. She helped me decide on taking part of being an athlete because I was more into football, but she guided me into the athletics part. So she's been there since the journey started, and now it had to cut short for her, but still the journey continues.
First row.
Hi, my name is Fentio. I'm from Ghana. I have a couple of questions for Letsile and Nina. Tebogo, congratulations once again for the gold medal. You did Africa very proud. Now, in the aftermath of that, there was at the press conference, you were asked whether you are now the face of athletics, and you said you were not or cannot be the face of athletics because you were not arrogant as Noah. A lot of people thought that was a mistranslation because maybe what you meant was that you're not as flamboyant. But after what you've seen and experienced after you won that gold medal, going back home and the reception you received all around the world, have you had a change of mind? Do you think that truly right now you are at a place where you can't run away from it again, that you are truly the face of athletics?
Even today, I'm still not the face of athletics. I saw Ray's interview. He said Noah changed the sport, which I believe he did. I haven't changed anything. I just came in and won the gold medal. That's all that I did. But he has been there and consistent throughout the years. So I think after being consistent also, I would say I could be the face of athletics. But when you talk, you would say, no, he won the Africa's first gold medal. But in reality, we know if there's somebody who could be there, it's still Noah.
And my last question to you, you've had a lot of races this year. How are you feeling physically? Are you not tired?
I mean, I chose this career, so I'm still not tired. Still gotta keep going until the end.
Okay, thank you. And Nina, my question to you would be, in Budapest, you shared the gold medal with Katie in the pole vault. Ahead of the Olympic Games, obviously for the first time, World Athletics put $50,000 on the gold medal and said, if you share the gold medal, you would have to share the money. Did that kind of change your attitude going into the competition that this time around, I don't want to share the gold medal?
No, like regardless of the money and the World Athletics money, I didn't want to share it. And I think if you ask Katie, she would say exactly the same thing. You know, we've done it once and that was amazing and, you know, we loved that, but I wanted that outright gold medal for myself. So, yeah.
Anna Legnani from the second row.
Thank you. Question for Ryan. How important was it for you to get that gold in a season when you've had so many physical problems?
Yeah, so each gold in each Olympics is different. It's a snapshot in your career trajectory as an athlete with 4 years between each one is very different. But for me, I think I'm proud of the ability to keep moving forward despite the adversity, and I think it's a sign of growth for me as an individual in my ability to enjoy this Olympics more. I think this one I was the happiest in regards to the outcome. Tokyo, I felt like it was mine to lose. I was fresh off of a world record, and I felt like if I lost it, it was my fault. Where this one, the injuries, the setbacks made me happy to be there. I felt like I could appreciate it more, and so I felt like I was enjoying it more, and that is what I'm as proud of as winning the third is my ability to enjoy what I'm doing. And I think for the longevity of my career, continuing in this sport and continuing to have positive performances, positive experiences, that's something that I hope to continue to grow with. And sometimes it is those setbacks and those adversities that make the moment more special.
So I have a question for Tara now. You've been so consistent this year, over 7 meters. So that must be a really good feeling.
Yeah, absolutely. I've worked so hard this season to just get to the position I'm in today. I feel like my hard work is showing. 7 meters doesn't come easy. So anytime I can touch anywhere close to 7 meters, it's proof in what I've been working for all season. I feel like I hope I get to change the game of long jump to make 7 meters not as difficult for these women, so we have something to reach for. I feel like we can change that 7 meter mark to 720s and 730s plus.
There's no one else, I'm going on. Tara, you had some rough times a few years ago with mental health issues, and now you look like a totally different athlete. You're very joyful when you're out there on the track. Tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, back in 2020 and 2021, I wasn't really, fond of what I was doing in my life. I had some bad habits, bad outlooks on life, and I gave myself the ultimatum of, you get this life one chance, and it's either you take it or you don't. And I decided to buckle up and just put on the boots and start marching. And ever since then, I've changed my outlook on life. I don't let the small things get to me as much, and I don't know, I feel like I'm here for a reason, and whatever that reason is, I'm going to show my smile and show the joy of life. I think that we all struggle with something. And if I'm able to voice my opinion on mental health or voice that I struggled too, I feel like that could, inspire not just women, but everyone in the world to just, be themselves and go out there and just live life.
Thank you.
A question in the back of the hall.
That girl too. She was first.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Oh.
Okay, I have a question for you. We've been talking about Noah Lyles. Some people love him, some people hate him, I don't know. But one thing is for sure, people talk about him, he's an icon, and you are the new icon. You and Hunter are the golden couple of the Olympic Games. You are inspiring a new generation. How does that feel for you?
It feels good. I mean, I'm just out here living. I'm not trying to be, doing this for the views or doing this to be seen. I'm just living. Hunter and I share a special relationship on and off the track. So if people can look at us with just, only see joy, only see, love between us. For Noah, I feel like the people that so-called hate, I don't want to use that word because that's not nice. I think that people just haven't seen him for who he is. I feel like he is a different cat. He is a different walk of life. But I think it's beautiful that he's able to share his expressions and share his full personality. I think people can take note of that.
Thank you.
In Paris, you celebrate more from the goal of the discus throw than the shot put. How do you consider your double role as athlete and coach?
Yeah, so it was a very exciting time. Working and coaching. Roger has been very rewarding, and I think for me in the later half of my career, it's kept me engaged, and it brings a new level of excitement. And shot put and discus vary in the execution of the technique, but a lot of the training and preparation, especially on the mental side, is very similar. The mental aspect of stepping on the track and knowing that you've prepared to the best of your ability is a level of confidence that can't be faked. And so I think coaching him and explaining that to him has helped solidify my confidence in myself. And so I will say that coaching is a lot more stressful than being an athlete. It's way easier for me to step out on the Olympic stage and compete than it is to be preparing someone else, and you sit in the stands and you see things going on. It's like, why are you doing this? So that is definitely more of a challenge. So I have a newfound respect for coaches, because you just sit in the stands and you've prepared for the athlete, but you have to take the back seat. And so with no outlet, that is much more stressful.
So you don't have 3 gold medals, you have 4 gold medals at the Olympics.
3.5.
Any more questions?
Just got one more question for Tebogo. Obviously, in Botswana and in many other parts of Africa, athletics and training facilities are hard to come by, and that sort of thing. Obviously, you've done something that's never been done before. How do you intend to use your newfound influence to get maybe governments, not just the Botswana government, but other governments, to be fully interested in investing in athletics? Because surely there's a lot of proof from what you did that if they invest, they would get good results. How do you intend to use your newfound influence to get them to do some of these things?
I mean, the government is the government, and it's hard for you to convince them to do something that they're not willing to do, especially in Africa, because they more believe that football is the go-to. But we have did our best. Ghanaians did his part in South Africa. Fadi in Kenya. I also did my part. So it's really hard for you to convince the government for them to invest in athletics. We have proven ourselves good enough the past 2 years, I believe, and still now I haven't seen any change. So I believe after the Olympics I'll see a change, of which I haven't put any expectations to it, because the more I expect, the more I get disappointed. So I've just told myself I'll see if they will do it. If they don't do it, still we gotta use what we have.
Here, there we go. Anderson Emerald here. Question for Tara. I might have missed, but can you talk about your move up to K-State and like the coaching and opportunities that you're diving into?
Yeah. If you guys don't know, I am now an assistant coach at K-State. It's a small school in Manhattan, Kansas. I'm so stoked to be there. I'm stoked to bring my knowledge to other athletes. I feel like I have a different viewership on the NCAA, as I was a transfer. I've been around the block, I feel like, with multiple coaches, and I've struggled with depression in college. I've struggled with success in college, and I don't know, I feel like my idea for me as a coach when I go over there is just to give insight rather than, hardcore coaching. I will share my expertise on what I know in the jumps and sprints, but at the end of the day, I want to give kind of like my 2 cents and help these athletes, get through college. It's hard moving away from home. It's hard to, be in a place that you're not used to. So I just hope as a coach that I can give just some moral support in everything that I can.
For Letsile, at the Olympics you ran a fantastic split in 400 in a relay. Are you planning to run more 400 meters in the next year?
I don't think so. Because the ultimate goal, even though it's a secret, was to win the 100-meter gold medal first, and then that's when we could switch up to the 400 meters, because the job will be done in the 100 and the 200, and then now focus on something different, maybe for a year. But I'm hoping that next year's World Championships, you'll see a different person at the 400 meters. That's what I hope for, because the 400 is now exciting also. It's thrilling to watch. So that's where I like to be, in somewhere in the mix.
Oh, in order to change discipline, Ryan, I know that you have a bet with Gianmarco Tamberi. You have to throw the 23 meter, or you have to jump 245. Who is closest to this target?
Yeah, we talked about this at breakfast, actually. It's been a hot topic. So I think the one that I don't want to say he's admitted defeat on his behalf, but if you take half of my PR and half of his PR, I would hope quite easily. I'd be very disappointed if I can't jump half of his PR and even just like land on the mat. But he's hoping for 8 meters. He said 7 meters and I gave him 8. So I'm actually giving him more than he believes in himself.
Okay.
Oh man.
You threw shot. You tried it.
I did. It was not good.
More questions? More questions? No more questions? Okay, it's time for the photographs for our 4 gold medals. With the, okay.
Bene, bene, dormito bene. Ho chiesto a Crouser della sfida, È carico,
Buongiorno. Buongiorno. Quante belle persone.
Good morning. I see so many beautiful people here.
Allora, io suppongo che non ci sia bisogno
So I suppose that we don't need no introductions for the three Italian champions that are here on my right. Marcell Jacobs, Gianmarco Tamberi and Andy Diaz. I would like to start with a first question to break the ice. Marcell, you came back from Paris with the CEST meeting. How does it feel to have shown, to have proven that you are a top sprinter after 2 tough years? What is your feeling considering that you couldn't win another gold medal as you did in Tokyo? Good morning, everybody. Well, to be honest, I knew that those years were years where I could not prove my value because of the injuries that hindered my training. It wasn't really about not knowing my value. It was a great surprise for me, actually, and I would like to do better because I've always known that if I could have prepared in the right way, I could have gone really, really fast. So, to be honest, I struggled at first in the season because I was trying to put the pieces together, the pieces from my preparation. So I struggled a little because I didn't feel I could run as fast as I wanted at first. But I do believe that the season went very well, and I know that reaching the finale isn't really enough as an Olympic champion, but I did everything I could. I did my best, and I believe that this is of great value, and I believe that we're working really well. For Jimbo, I believe that we already received, we heard your answer in Poland last week, but I believe that everyone is wondering now, how are you really doing? Well, good morning, everybody. I'm doing much better physically. Before going to Silesia, I did all the necessary tests to make sure that I could go, blood tests and scans and other tests proved that I no longer have any kidney stones, although, to be honest, the idea would have been doing other tests, such as a CAT scan, but I was strongly suggested not to do so because of the irradiations. I also took some medication that definitely helped me, and I stopped taking them a few days before the competition. So from in terms of my mental health, clearly these days have been a roller coaster. It is as if I had put something in between me and the Olympics. So very often when I think of the last jump, I have to say that that was completely different to the bad experience in Paris. But clearly, I don't wake up every morning with a smile on my face. Andy, after the bronze medal in Paris, we hope to see you extremely happy. First of all, because you equaled your trainer as a bronze medalist, and then because you made it to Paris after a very difficult season. However, it would seem that your bronze medal did leave you satisfied, but that you were actually expecting for more. So what can we expect from you tomorrow? Yes, it is true. Good morning. I'm happy, but I'm not that completely satisfied. And above all, considering the results I achieved over the last few years. So during the Olympics, we could see that we went very far. My other two fellow mates actually made it to 18 meters, so I'll hope that I can actually do the same tomorrow. Before moving to the questions, I would like to remember that the motto of this competition is sustainability, because we are hoping that sport can foster sustainability, and the Golden Gala is part of this initiative. And now I would like to start a round of questions and answers for our three athletes here.
Arriva il microfono.
Please wait for the microphone.
Non c'è il microfono?
No microphone?
Arriva. Arriva lei, poi arriva anche il microfono, è una staffetta.
It's a relay. The microphone will come. In the meantime, please speak very loud.
No, aspetta Giorgio, c'è una domanda prima e poi ti do...
Se gareggi in una pedana sopraelevata.
Allora... no, scusa.
No, se gareggia nella pedana normale. Sì, in effetti si faccio 18 secondi di più.
Well, if I want to reach 18 meters, it would be easier to... It would make more sense to start from the normal base. Question without microphone, so it cannot be translated.
Sì, mi è stata fatta diverse volte. In realtà prima...
Yes, many ask me this question. Normally people ask me, are you going to compete next year? Until Los Angeles, that's normally my answer. Well, we'll see. The truth is that after the Poland competition, the Olympics didn't really go as I expected. And actually, I was expecting them to be the last competition of my career. I had prepared myself for my whole career for that moment, and I believe that I had all the skills needed. Clearly, my plans were not as successful as I expected. However, if I didn't try my best, I would have probably disappointed myself. Therefore, I currently feel something within me, some fire, something that is definitely going to prompt me into getting ready to play once again next year, because I know my value. Then, of course, many are the dynamics that come into play, and we'll have to see how things will go. Many other factors to be considered for next year, and also for Los Angeles. Things will be changing over time, and I will have to see who I will work with and how and why. Many are my doubts. Over the last few years, I've focused entirely on Paris, but now if I were to think of Los Angeles, I will have to reorganize all of my thoughts and my plans, see if it is viable, and see how we can get there. Thank you.
Altre domande?
Other questions? Franco Fava. Finally, the microphone. Marcell. Now, besides you going back to the 100 meters, you explained very well why you decided to go back to that in this season. Statistically, your average times in the 100 meters is very close to the ones that you achieved in 2021 in Tokyo. Is this giving you more strength, more energy to ensure that you can actually achieve that top timing that could be close enough to that 980? Well, of course, when I go on the tracks, I try everything I can to improve. And I try to be as in shape as I can. I want to prove every single time that I can run really fast as needed. We have another race tomorrow and other races before the season ends. I can definitely try to aim for that, for the 980, but I would say that what is most important during these competitions is that I want to have as much fun as I can. I love this sport, and so my main objective is to have fun and challenge my opponents.
Franco Bragagna.
Franco Bragagna. The first thing I would like to say to all of you is thank you, Andy, thank you, Jimbo, thank you, Marcell, thank you for what you did and for what you didn't do. Marcell, aside from Silesia, where you did a great job, our impression from the finale in Paris is that perhaps you lack 10 more days to be able to actually do even better. I completely agree with you. Perhaps it wouldn't be fair to say that I would have needed 10 more days, but I definitely needed more consistency, the consistency that is needed to race at that level. I admit that I couldn't immediately get into that mindset that my coach was asking me to have. So I didn't really run as I wanted, as I expected. And in Paris too, I saw that I wasn't free from many constraints, from many ideas. I wasn't that swift as I wanted. We know that in the space of a few months, things can change. My hope is that this year, when I go back to training, I won't have to start from scratch. So the first few months will not be about learning, it will be about working hard. So I'm sure that in the next season I will be able to do even better. Marco Bonadrigo, Corriere della Sera.
Ciao Jimbo, senti.
Hi Jimbo. So this year the primacy of high jump, or female high jump, was actually hit. What about the male high jump? Do you believe that that result goes beyond what you can achieve as Italian high jumpers? What is your idea? Well, we should introduce this actually, because I believe you're asking this question to the wrong athlete. Simply because I am the only athlete in the history of the Olympics that never really jumped as high as 240. I'm actually the worst high jumper in this sense. Clearly, I know that my best quality is that I can express myself when it matters, when I'm wearing the Italian T-shirt, I transform myself. Obviously, I didn't go as far as going close to 246, as others did. As for myself, I haven't really imagined any limits to my potential, to improving year by year. I try to eliminate any mental limits, any mental constraints that I had for myself. That now that didn't mean that I was aiming for jumping as high as 246, but I didn't want to have any limits because I could see Paris as the competition where I would have actually been able to understand how far I'd come. And I would have done everything I could until getting to 3 mistakes, because I was in an excellent physical conditions, and I had great preparation. It started in Rome with 2:37, and I wasn't aware of my full value. I didn't want to have any mental constraints, because we know that high jump is all about overcoming yourself, because you see that the bag keeps going higher and higher, and you have to ask yourself, am I ready for this? So the first thing that you have to do is to not be scared and not believing that you cannot actually achieve those results. I know that I could have won that gold medal. Maybe I could have won it, but I could have got really, really close. So I was greatly disappointed, both in 2016 and 2024, in the competition that really matters, where I normally give my best. I did not fare as I wanted, so I'm really sorry for everything that I've actually worked for, and I couldn't see the results of it, sadly. I would like to go back to records to get Andy involved, because next year we will have the anniversary of the triple jump record. It seemed to be historic. Then we saw that maybe it could have been overstepped. What do you think? Would you believe that between you, Pichardo, and the others will be the first one to actually break that record? We're actually quite close, and if there is someone who can do that, that person has to be me, of course. That's why I'm training. I'm training to go farther than everybody else, and I'm only missing about 15 centimeters, and you would think that it's very little, but it's actually this much. And then it is also about sprinting in the right way, and as soon as I manage to do it, I'm sure that 18 meters will be achievable. Marcel, what about Bolt's record? Do we leave it there hanging for a while longer? Careful with your answer. I will not answer, well, what Bolt managed to do is something that will be very hard to defeat in time. Not really because of what he did in the 200 meters. These last few days, I actually talked with many people about this record, about how he was so fast in the last 40 meters. The real problem is actually breaking that record. So I believe that it will stay there in history books for a while longer. Any questions for Andy Diaz? Considering that we talked about world records, is the Italian record here in Rome closer to what you would like to achieve tomorrow evening? Well, the Italian record, I achieved that at the Golden Gala, so I will have to do that again, since I didn't make it in Florence. Franco? Good morning from La Repubblica. Jimbo, the night when you won the European Championship with 2:37 in the mixed zone, it was so late. When you got here, you gave us 2 certainties. First one, this would be my last Olympic Games. And second, I can't wait to become a father. Now, considering that you are changing your mind, actually, has everything changed? You already have your family, I suppose, And considering that by your side you have another champion and father, such as Marcell, I believe that this person could actually support you in terms of changing your personal life. Has he proved as he became an Olympic champion with 3 children? We saw, for instance, that in Paris there were some female champions that were mothers, that are mothers. So was this an interesting influence, something that could push you forward? Thank you for your question. It's actually a well thought out question. And the truth is that it isn't that Chiara and I didn't think of having a family because we believe that having a family would have limited our performances, my performance in Paris, because we know very well that for many mothers that it is very hard to perform when you have small children. And it is hard. We know that it is not impossible anyway. What we said, after thinking about it, we are a very stable couple. We've been together 15 years. We got engaged when we were so young, and we are just more and more united. After Tokyo, we understood how many sport commitments would have arrived in our lives, and had we had any children, we would have wanted to dedicate ourselves entirely to them. It didn't seem that that was the right moment, and we didn't want to prevent ourselves from dedicating to them entirely. Clearly, after Tokyo, our lives changed completely. For many years, I'd been jumping at very high level. I'd won other medals before, but when you get to the Olympics and you win the gold medal, the requests in terms of what you're asked to do change. So I would have probably had to give less to either or, and we didn't think that that was the smartest choice. Now, of course, we are already struggling to accept this idea. We both want to become parents. I can't wait to see a child, well, rather a little girl running about the house. So hopefully we manage to crown that dream. Now, I had the certainty that that would have been the last Olympics. Now we are questioning that, but what has definitely not changed is that we still want to make our dreams true, the dream of having children. I'm not sure about what I said, but anyway, thank you for your advice. I do not want to meddle in what you said, but I admit that you don't need that much. You just need a few more seconds to ensure that you can actually make it real. So it's not a marathon, as it's saying. You just need a few seconds, or maybe even less. Okay, thank you very much for what you said. As a father, you're really moving me, even though it is much easier to be fathers than mothers. Andy, let's go back with our feet on earth. You told me that you're not particularly satisfied with the bronze medal. Actually, you're really angry. So what did you lack there? And what were you lacking during the day of the qualifications where you reached the same centimeters as the following opponent? Well, during the Olympics, I don't really know what I was doing. I felt like a child. I couldn't do a single thing correctly. In terms of my mental health, I was fine. I was clearly feeling excited, sure. I made mistakes and the finale was completely different. I was ready to compete. I was so proud of knowing that I was representing my country, so I couldn't go back to Italy without a medal. So I was quite relaxed. I knew that I could achieve it, and I did so immediately with the first jump. And so all of the following jumps were easier. And then, sadly, I was paralyzed by an injury. And for that reason, I wasn't that competitive. But now I believe that this season is only about to start, and I'm ready for anything that is coming my way. For Marcell, you've already been to Rome for the Spring Festival. How do you feel in comparison to the beginning of the season? And in general, how do you feel in the pre-event meetings and post-event meetings? And then yesterday you had dinner with Phil Carey. I would like to know if that was actually organized, and what do you talk about? Yes, the Sprint Festival was the first real competition of the season, so we had many questions, many doubts. We had to put many pieces together. It was my very first competition after a very long time. Our emotions were completely new, and in comparison to the upcoming season, it was a completely different situation. The pre-event competitions are very useful because they let you mistake so that you can improve and readjust when it matters. The post-event, the post competitions are those where you take part to ensure that you can continue working hard and preparing for the following season. So the pre and post events are very different in terms of the mentality that one has. So the pre-event competitions help you get ready, and the ones after the main events help you remember that you're actually that good. As for the dinner with Fred, well, he knew that Rome is my home, so he asked me to go to a nice restaurant for dinner. So yes, it was organized. We talked about the usual things and also about his sponsors, his future competitions, our opponents, and our businesses, potential businesses in terms of homes and other things. And who paid for the bill? I did. So you went to McDonald's, right? And you must have said, I'm sure you're going to like this. But we betted that had he won the competition in Silesia, would have not paid for dinner. So that's why I had to pay for it. I have a question for everybody, starting from Marcell. Since you mentioned that the competitions after the most important event, they're mainly about having fun. From next year, World Athletics has declared that the season ends with the main event. In Silesia, there were 2 world records that were achieved. So, considering that you achieved the highest levels in the main event, what do you think? Do you believe that it is a pity to give up on those post competitions? Clearly, during even years, it won't be the Olympics that finish the season. There will be those ultimate championships. However, it still feels a pity that there will not be other post-event competitions. Yes, that's true. Just like what happened in 2019, where the Doha World Championship actually ended the season. It will be a complicated season because we will have to be able to manage our preparation very well to ensure that we can achieve our best performances at the end of the season. So we would like to see how we can organize the competition starting from winter until September. It is true that not being able to compete afterwards Well, in considering that you going to the Olympics after the World Championship, you don't really lose shape after a couple of days. I admit that when I went to Silesia, I didn't want to run less than 10:10. Well, you actually told me 10:20. Yes, true. But I was quite concerned about not running at all because after the relay, I consumed a lot in terms of mental and physical health. And in the 11 days before the competition, I believe that I only trained 1.5 times. However, my results prove that you don't really lose shape in 10 days. Clearly, it would be a shame not to be able to take advantage of the shape that you've achieved. But what can we do? We will have to adapt to the situation. Yes, it will be quite a change. I have a slightly different idea to Marcell's because, as I've always said, I've never really chosen these sports out of fun. I don't simply go out on the tracks, believe that I can jump incredibly high. My motivation goes much farther than having fun. However, I do understand it. In my case, we need to have a reason, and that's what pushed me in Silesia at the 218 competition, and then I kept trying because I wanted to come back as a winner, considering how it went in Paris. So if I look at this change, I believe that it could be a positive change. The fact that you can actually choose where you want to compete, because we're not compelled to take part in all of them. You have the chance to get ready for a single competition and to prepare in the right way. And then what I believe is most important, what makes the difference is being able to adapt to change. We need to be good at that, adapting to the changes that have been chosen. I quite agree with Tamberi. Really? How formal of you. Yes, we need to adapt to changes, true, but I'm not really worried about any of it. I just want to win, just like Jimbo, he won it all, and I want to do that too. Basically, I started 2 years ago, so I have some more work to do, and I will let my trainer Fabrizio to choose what I need to do, what kind of competitions I need to take part in, and that will be it. We have room for one last question. Two questions for Gianmarco Tamberi. Firstly, in these years where you've become famous, have you received any feedbacks in terms of the promotion of athletics and some specific disciplines, especially regarding youth? And then our question is about Los Angeles. We hope to see you there, but if there is no exit strategy, and we're also wondering if a sport will keep having a professional role in your life. Have you gone to take the rings? Well, no, actually I haven't yet. We will do that in a few days. Greg didn't find it in the sense, so we'll have to see what we can do. We waited for his competition, hoping that it would have come out surprisingly from somewhere in the river. As for Los Angeles, considering that I haven't decided what I will do, I can't even tell you what I won't do. If I'm aiming for athletics, that's what I will do. So if I decide that I want to keep going, I will focus on that only and consider that I'm an all-round professional. I won't focus on anything else. Once I've decided what I want to do, then I will go to Los Angeles. I have never imagined really a post-Paris, not because I'm not particularly far-sighted, but it was because I wanted to invest all of my energy in that competition. Plan A is the only one that matters. And so, especially considering that it was a particularly hard plan, well, you need to do everything you can to ensure that all your resources are invested in that plan. And I will do the same for Los Angeles if I decide that I want to be there. And the other question about youth, yes, I have definitely seen how there was a huge impact on youth, and I must say that it is one of the things that comforted me the most, seeing how much affection people showed to me. Because I don't really care much about the hate, but what I could see was the affection, the support, seeing how many young teenagers take inspiration from you and how important it is for us to be the example. There are so many things that we can do for them, and I'm particularly proud and extremely happy that even though I was really struggling, I was strong enough not to give up, because in life you can achieve big things only if you keep trying until the very end. There will keep being more opportunities. They are endless. This is how it went in Paris. Maybe it could have gone differently, but I'm thinking, what if I actually gone there on the field? I could have maybe achieved 232 or even more. Who knows? We must keep believing in that, because only if you do that you can do magic.
Franco, abbi pazienza, le faccio... Abbiamo...
No, è che Jimbo la tira per i capelli suoi, ovviamente, non i miei.
Vai, Franco, vieni.
Yes, Franco, go ahead.
Hai parlato di affetto? Sì. Di chi ti è stato vicino?
You talked about affection, support,
Non dimenticare l'odio.
and if we leave out the hate,
Ci metto in mezzo perché ci sono state persone che
I want to say that there were many people that reasonably, as they said, asked themselves whether your way of communicating was perhaps a little too much. I'm not talking about the people that hated on you. I'm talking about the middle range. Did you ask yourself if your way of communicating perhaps, well, I mean, it's you, so you are, but is there a part of you that told you maybe you're going a little bit too far? Thank you, Franco. Well, clearly we cannot all agree on how we communicate. What I can ensure is that when you're there, you don't really think, sorry, mates. You don't really think about what is the right way of communicating when you are in pain and you cannot move during what should be the best day of your life, and you cannot walk, and you should be there competing at the finale in the Olympics. The only thing you can think of is doing what you feel you can do. And I was receiving so many calls and messages that I couldn't reply to, and I try to communicate to those that love me, and not only those who love me, because not just the people closest to me, but everybody, all of those that have been supporting me. I just wanted to say that I've been going through a very hard time, and I would have never wanted to be that kind of person that only shares on social networks the beautiful moments when you're at a 5-star hotel and having a great time. I wanted to talk about real life, and I was going through the worst time ever, and I wanted to share that. Then, of course, people might not agree with that, and I completely understand that. Some people could say, you should just think about yourself, but that's what I felt like I should have, that's what I felt I should have said, and that's what I did. The truth is that the problem is that when you write such things, everyone reads that, and it gets amplified so much that it is perceived in many different ways. All I wanted was to communicate with those who love me and support me, and then of course you are the ones who are supposed to share what I say with everyone in the way you believe is more correct. Thank you very much, everyone. And now we will continue with the pictures and then the one-to-one interviews.